guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A great big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. All right, in this video, I'm in a bit of a funk, and so I thought I'd just play around with some of my stuff, and I'd have you guys come along and join me. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way for now. This is a Hobonichi that I was supposed to use for my everyday carry, but then I decided to use my one piece instead, and so I've turned this into my Commonplace journal. And when I was doing some pages in here a few months ago, a few of you had asked, I think, including Doodle, I didn't look at the video, I'm sorry, but I had asked what a Commonplace journal is. And so I actually, before I started filming, did a little bit of research. I know what it means for me, but this is from a blog post from Ashley Holstrom from the book Riot, Why and How You Should Keep a Commonplace Book. I've heard it called Commonplace Book, Commonplace Journal, and it really goes into what it is that I feel it is, and I'll also talk about how I'm approaching this. And it says from the article here, it's a place to collect your favorite quotes and passages from books or movies or TV shows, newspaper articles, or daily conversations. The concept isn't new. Marcus Aurelius, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Mark Twain, Virginia Woolf, etc., they all kept one. Austin Kleon writes endlessly about his Commonplace notebooks, one which being his daily quote journal, where he keeps an interesting thing he hears or reads on a daily basis. And it is the act of copying something down that helps it lock it into memory. And so I just did some collaging. This is on some of the monthly section here. I'm not using this as a planner at all, so all of these pages are just basically paper at this point to me. For my purposes, I have another one that I've kind of tucked away and it's hard to get to, but this is going to be a Snarky and Sassy edition of a Commonplace journal. Now, when I'm reading something or I see something on the internet, I don't actually immediately write it down. I don't have this anywhere but here, and even when I'm watching something or seeing something on Instagram or whatever, I'm not taking notes. Some of the things I'm going to show you today I've seen on a particular Instagram page, and so I will link that below and I'll show you why. But I definitely am of the opinion that for me personally, writing stuff down makes it more sticky in my brain. I'm more likely to remember it. That's why I don't write down when I'm not feeling well or if I need to let things out, because all it does is it cements it more than actually lets me get rid of it. I know for some people, writing it down gets it out of your head and then it's no longer simmering. For me, it's quite the opposite. So the Commonplace journals that I have, it's really a place for me to play with my stuff and then add a quote or two or a saying or whatever that I've come across or that I specifically looked up for that. So I don't use it in the traditional sense where I've heard something or I've read something and I immediately write it down. Usually it's the act of playing and then I just want something to go with it that makes this interesting to me. Whatever way that you do it, it really is just a one place, and you can have multiple of these if you fill them up, where you're writing things down that might necessarily or might not necessarily go into your daily journaling, or you want it to just be specifically for the books you've read or what you've watched. It could be a daily journaling spot that you have for everything. It really is up to you. And if you're interested, just go ahead and Google Commonplace Journal and you'll see lots of different renditions here on YouTube. There's lots of people who talk about it. But the way that I do it, it's really just more of an art project than it is to make something by way of a quote or saying or whatever stick in my head, if any of that makes sense. So I just wanted to do this little collage sheet just so that I could discuss that with you guys. Now, what I had done on camera previously, I believe it was for one of my Crack the Vault videos, is I had made these collage sheets and then done some lettering. And again, this is all going to be sassy or snarky type of saying, quotes, whatever. And so I had done these two with you guys. I had created this as well, but this one I just did recently. And this says, once upon a time, I didn't care, the end. And I have been loving Deb Albeck's Instagram page because she's been doing collaging every day for days and days and days. I think 100 days is the last one that she did. And I love that they're vibrant and bright. The artwork is just so interesting to look at, but then more often than not, the quotes are snarky or sassy. And so this is directly from one of her pages. This here, again, just did some collaging, just wanted to play with my stuff. And another from her page says, don't try to figure me out. It will only exhaust you. And again, I am putting where I'm getting it. Sometimes I'll look up quotes, and unless it is attributed to someone, then I won't write it down. But I'm specifically screenshotting some of her Instagram posts because I just love the quote on it. Now, what I plan to do today with you guys is this right here. At the end of the video, I'll show you how I got that effect right there. I am using the weekly section for this, although all of these monthly sections here, I can do whatever with. I haven't decided. Again, this is just something I come in when I want to play. I do want to use this sticker in the sticker sets that I got, and I believe this is from Etsy. It's the only guy that I've seen in that set. This is just some blotter sheets, and I do like the colorway of browns and the blue, so that's why I have some mild liners out. Now, there's no rhyme or reason to way this is stored. And because you can see the red of that, I'm actually going to cover that up as much as I can. With Hobonichi paper, it's fabulous because a lot of it doesn't bleed through, but you will get ghosting like crazy. And as long as you're okay with that, then it's great paper, even if you want to do some watercolor on it. I kind of like the look of that. Got some of these. Again, I've got a whole assortment of stuff in here. I do want to limit the color palette as much as I can. And I've yet to figure out the perfect way to store this stuff, because I still have to thumb through things. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it can be a little annoying. Okay. So I don't want to have all of this stuff down. So I've just pulled some selections. We're going to do some simple placement first, and I actually already know what I want to put down by way of quote. So I like that, but that's just a sheet of paper. It's not adhesive. So I'm just going to make it adhesive by adding some. Now I could add glue, but this is just easier. And I hate when my hands are sticky. So we'll put this down. Again, really just trying to cover up as much as the red. If it peeks through, it peeks through. I mean, not selling this or anything. And I did want him on this side. And let's see if we can collage some more. And I don't know how you guys do it, but this is kind of my process. So let's put him down first. Now, these stickers that I got from Etsy, and again, if you're interested, let me know, and I can link the shop if they're still available. Not affiliated or anything, just if you're interested. It's not washi, so it's opaque, which is cool. unless I didn't want that white border, which I necessarily didn't want. Now this has some, what is this? All right, so we're gonna cut this because I don't necessarily want anything in there, but we're going to line it up so that it still turns without any kind of hindrance, or at least that's the plan. Now I should be placing it closer to him to see, but I'm just hoping for the best. But again, I don't want it in the actual ditch there. And then we'll put this on the other side. The only thing I find problematic with these washi stickers sometimes is getting the backing off. Let's see if I can line that up. Now, obviously there's going to be that section in the middle that is not connected, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm actually quite okay with that. And I do like seeing writing on a page, even if it's not mine. And how would that look layered? Because these are stickers. No. Oh, I do like that. That's nice. Now, I don't come in here often. As you can see, there isn't many journaling spots, but some days when I don't feel like coloring, but I want to play, then it makes a good spot to come into. I could also go into my reading journal and do a spot there. I could go into my coloring book journal and just place some lines down. It really just depends on me. But this felt like a good thing to do today, just considering the mood that I'm in. I'll show you where I got this from in just a second. Now, I hadn't meant this to be a pink, blue, and brown page, but it just kind of happened. But I got this sticker book here, and it's got a whole bunch of these stickers with like a scrapbooking kit. If you're interested, let me know and I can go through my orders and see if I can link it below. I don't normally link things because I found in the past it doesn't make sense for me to do that. Just by the amount of effort it takes, I don't get that many clicks. I'm just gonna color that. This was from the neutral set of mild liners, but it's, oh, this one is called beige. But I think that helps right there. And let me write down the quote. Okay, so this is my favorite color of Tombow water-based marker. It's 772. It's sort of a dusty rose. Kind of ties into that right there. And this is also from Deb's page. Oh, well, that's what happens when you don't test things out. And is it lifting the watercolor? All right, so that's today's spread. I always struggle with empty spaces, but I actually think as a whole that looks really good. I did attribute this to Deb. And I don't know that she's the originator of this, but I saw it there and I thought it was interesting and I took a picture of it. So that's why I'm attributing her. And then let me finish this video with just doing some wash techniques. This Hobonichi paper takes it well. It does get a little crinkly, but not as much as you think. Again, if you are concerned with ghosting, then don't do this process. But if you don't care about that, then this works really well. So this is my Derwent Inktense paint pans. I believe this is the largest set you can get, because if they had a bigger set than this, I would definitely get it because I love these things. I actually use this more than I use my Inktense pencils. As you can see, up in the top is where I mix things and I just leave them there. I always use a water brush pen. The Arteza ones are my favorite, and I am rough with my stuff. So yeah, I'm not even sure if the color's still on there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna go up here and just kind of put things down. As you can see, I don't even have a blotter sheet. I don't feel that I need it, or something to wipe this off on. If I were in a coloring book and I wanted to keep the colors pretty pristine between, then yeah, of course I would. But for this, I want color down to kind of build off of that. So let's go into this green and let's just do some strokes that way. And I'm just doing kind of an X method. And this will be covered up, either a little or a lot, by stickers and scrapbook paper and whatnot. So I don't need it to be perfect or beautiful or even look like anything. Again, it's just really to give it a background like that. Because again, you don't really see the background, but it does make what's on top of it a lot more interesting. It doesn't take a lot of time to dry. I will keep this open while it does. I'll need to remember to wipe that off before I use it again. And then that just stays like that. I mean, that's paint, and I bought this with my money, so I'm not going to waste that. Now, some of this might drive you crazy because you can see some of the colors are in the paint pans, but I mean, at least for me, this is real life, and this is how I use my stuff. So yeah, if you want the Instagram version of how people paint, you are in the wrong place. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'd love to know if you guys either do or would make a Commonplace journal. And if you do, what do you keep inside of it? Is it daily thoughts? Is it things you read or watch? I'd love to know in the comment section below. All right, guys, well, I shouldn't do this, but this is just a lot easier to look at. That's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.